on the attack. I mean, Fair Mercy is not impossible to see on attacking on the first point. Second, it's a little bit more risky, especially if you do have Bud switching over to the Soldier if they want to run that. But the way Clockwork's been playing as Tracer, I feel like the way the entirety of FNRGFE has been playing, it's going to be difficult. I mean, first point, yeah, okay, first point, whatever, yeah, you can do that. Second point, you sure as hell better not be, because there's no high ceiling for you to play with. There's going to be Clockwork on the Tracer playing from high ground. There's going to be Coolmat there. There's going to be Moomna. Like, and there's even going to be Buds that are throwing a couple of shots every once in a while.
Absolutely, and I think a cool thing here that you're kind of touching on and how you phrase that is that FNRGFE, this is one of the few teams where I look at this and I almost feel like it's a full team effort across the board. You do oftentimes in Overwatch see that you focus on the DPS players. They're oftentimes the stars. But FNRGFE, I feel like you can point to most of their team as having really good moments here where you're seeing really good space being made by the tanks, and Clockwork and Buds are equally going into the back and getting good cleanup. So, I mean, when I look at FNRGFE right now, I'm just thinking team more than anything else.
You know what's weird? I don't think we've said Boink once.
No.
And not a bad, like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means he's doing his job so well that we can't really criticize him about anything.
Well, we said not to, because then we'd think of his old team, Oink Oink, here comes the Boink, and we'd just feel sad because it was the best name in Overwatch esports.
It's definitely not the worst, I'll tell you that. We do have Zog going to be coming in again. Just have Ginger pop off to his side, so running pretty much the comp they've been doing this entire series, though. If they're not going to start looking good, they might just make things switch. They're going to have to do something eventually, or they're just going to be giving up their chance at potentially making it into playoffs and potentially into season 1 contenders.
Stakes could not be larger here for Arc6. And
you're really hungry.
Look, I could go for some large stakes, Jason. That's just how I am. But you do see Arc6 really use positioning to their advantage. They wrap the way around, but Za has not been able to get that much done in the back line. It's been tough for him to allocate targets, and doesn't really matter too much though, because Dante builds up a very quick pulse bomb, gets into the support backline, and Arc6, slowly but surely, with good positioning, they are able to turn this one to their advantage. So point A will quickly go to them, but as anyone who watches competitive Overwatch knows, the test on Hanamura is not usually point A, the test is point B.
And they have Ginger pop with res, so there's no reason for them to not continue to go with this one. Make them play a little bit safe and get the big res onto the point. The thing is, Coolmat's going to have a self-destruct. He guarded up to 93% from that first fight. And you just pop a self-destruct when that res comes down. You're going to get a clean kill into the entire team if they can really get away from you. But look where R6 is already coming from. They're coming from the same direction. Bud, you're not in the right position, bro. Dante's going to just zip past him, and he realizes, oh my gosh, everyone's on the entire point. They've almost got the first initial third.
The reflected rocket, though, right back into Za. Not able to follow it up, but does give him a bit of pause. Za, though, still feeling good here. Full HP, getting boosted up. Here comes self-destruct from Coolmat, looking to make some space, and does. You call it the J-cap, but did you have a mercy to res you because Ginger Pop was there?
Yeah, of course it's ranked. He's mercies in every single game. Zog gets himself a D-suit and a kill on a Coolmat there, gets a second on a Clockwork, and it's looking good so far for Arc6, but they still have not got that third. Losing to Hoon so early on means they don't have that sound barrier, and I don't know if he's going to be here back in time.
This is very good for Arc6. This has been a quick strike that has caught FNRG off guard and then some. They are scrambling for their lives here. Clockwork, pulse bomb does connect. Another pulse bomb thrown into the waiting maw of Coolmat. Dante not feasting here, and Coolmat, even though low, draws a lot of people back towards him to the side. Very close here, in and on the point. But Arc6 keeping on the pressure, Jason. The problem is that they've lost several people, and things are starting to turn against them.
Well, they lost Ginger, most importantly now, so they lost the potential for res. And finally, Dahoon's going to be cleaned up here, but not after they got halfway through that point. 50.4% here. FNRGFE have switched some things up. Bonnie going to be on the Zenyatta. They switch Buds over to the Soldier to deal with Ginger and for Za. But the problem is, Ginger's all switched off too. They got rid of the Mercy. They got rid of the Pharah. They're going for Ana, and they're going for Soldier. So if they can get that middle ground control, things can get very deadly here for FNRGFE.
They certainly can. And I mean, the problem here is for Arc6 is that the best chance you have to take a point B on an assault map is simply coming in and doing that. Look at that. Had to use the barrage just to get Coolmat out of his face.
Hey, why not? I mean, you get the D-suit onto me, get the kill, and that's probably one of the most hardest heroes to move off of a point when you're trying to capture it, especially on assault.
Interesting stuff here at FNRGFE. They give up the high ground willingly. They're saying we're actually going to counter-engage. And wow, Matt under heavy pressure in the back. Both tanks going in on him, going to push him out. And while that goes on, Wuma doesn't have a partner. He falls to Dante. 5 versus 5 as Arc6 stays on the high ground, trying to open things up for Zod now in the 76 to lead the way, but it doesn't seem like it's enough as he has a diva in his face once more.
I like how Buds, though, did join Coolmat there because they try to take it together in tandem. Just not going to work out too well for him. Coolmat does get de-suited, but he's not dead just yet. They do repel the attack. Ginger Pop has gone down as he now has his ultimate ready to go. And they actually Clockwork getting a double pulse bomb on the retreat there, so well done by them. And that was actually, I was just watching that from their point of view, seeing Kombat fly up there when we know he just channeled his defense matrix for so long. But then Buzz just comes out of the staircase, just out of nowhere, and completely shoves them back. It caught them off guard, and Arc6 get no progress off that.
Look, sometimes 76 gets a little bit jealous that Tracer and Reaper are the top creepers of the game. He had to show that he can do that from time to time. But FNRGFE, they've done a good job of reestablishing here. They have 3 ults in reserve. Any of these ultimates, enough to delay and buy them time in any given push. Arc6, though, Jason, they are doubling down. They come in with the sound barrier, and they're looking for the right way of engaging. The attack visor is out, and Za looking for anything, but not going to get much. He has both a Winston and a D.Va in his face. All he had in his sights was obstruction.
Well, the thing is, they wasted that ultimate. They used the visor, but there was no nano on top of that. So I wonder, are they going to throw in the XQC in the next fight? You know, the amount of health that he had to eat through on Tamuma was just, there's no way. 1,000 HP and a D.Va there to mitigate your damage. Like, you have no chance of surviving that. And Arc6 have to go back to a drawing board. They still, you know, gotten half the cap on it, but half is not good enough.
No, it definitely isn't. And again, the problem for Arc6 here is that aside from their first push, they've just had difficulty getting good space, getting good room to work with. Za, whether it be on the Pharah or 76, has had a Winston or D.Va in his face this entire game. So the tank play has just been oppressive thus far. And here we go once more. Arc6 in off the high ground. Dahoon under pressure. He's going to fall. And you just see FNRGFE slowly come back in, poke around from all sides, and they're almost using the high ground or the lack of using it as a weapon where they know they're going to go up there and they just flank them from all ends, Jason.
Well, we also have to keep in mind, Bud did switch over to Mei when he did see the Reinhardt being picked up, because Reinhardt is obviously slow. You don't have the ability to jump on a high ground. You have the ability to get anywhere. So if you can just wall him off, you completely eliminate what he can do. They're looking for that kill to Ginger, but... I was going to say, there's no way he's going to get that.
Winter is coming, Jason, courtesy of Buzz. You think he can run away? Think again.
You know I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't watch that trash. I just offended, I think, almost every single person in Twitch chat
You'd
there.
be a Bolton anyways. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, now going into the last 2 minutes of time here for Arc in regulation on the attack. They still have that nano. They've had that for such a long time, and XQC's even switched back over to the Monkey, to the Winston, realizing it's too hard to deal with the Mei.
Dahoon's not cool enough to join that party. Well, that was going to go in, but they are delayed out. And FNRGFE staggering their ultimates right now, creating space, and now they're going to commit the Transcendence, and that would make any slim chance Arc6 have taking this fight go directly away. Every kill going the way of FNRGFE, and honestly, the Mei wall just stalled that out heavily. And oh no, speaking of stalls, the feel when Lucio just pushes you over the edge.
No, he booped him away initially. They keep him off that from jumping down, but you're looking into potentially one of the final attacks here. You've got a Blizzard. Like, if Space can't eat this, I see it really hard to ever take this point away from them. The Mei is just going to be too strong to defend, or to attack, sorry.
Going into Blizzard is one of the most terrifying things. I think people tend to forget because you don't see Mei as often right now in competitive Overwatch, but it forces you off the point, literally, and then if you're foolish enough to be in the middle of it, well, you freeze and you generally die. And again, look at what is going on here as they go up top. They have the tanks in their face. It takes them forever to come in, but finally they feel they have an opportunity. Matt is demeched, the barrier is in, and Arc6 on what will likely be their final good attempt here on Hanamura, looking for anything, but the Blizzard comes out. It's keeping them off the point, but I think it was a little bit premature. They don't get very much off of that Blizzard, and Arc6 still has a chance here, Jason, as they start applying the pressure and moving in. And now, will it be enough as FNRGFE? Let's see how much they can delay.
Well, they still really got any progress on the point here because they still see Clockwork off towards the bottom-hand side of your screen, constantly being a nuisance here. Dante, 66 HP in a dream, but he's not being focused down. He has opportunity to just keep hammering away. The self-destruct is going to buy a lot more time. But look, with all this time that's been going by, the progress has still not changed at all.
And look at that, just as a wild card, when Arc6 needs everyone alive, it's Bonnie in the back, free the way in the Zenyatta damage and picks up 2. Hello, world. Hello, Dante. You're going back to your spawn. It's overtime. And FNRGFE.
It's over.
Yeah, it's just over. Time.
So 54.5% is what Arc did get on that second point. FNRGFE 2-0. They are 2 points away from getting themselves through the playoffs. A lot of pressure on their shoulders, but being the old-timers that they are, being the veterans of Overwatch and many other games, I don't feel like there's too much pressure for them.
If there's pressure on them right now, I feel like it went away like a map ago with how this has been going on, where, I mean, you like to talk about momentum in sports, whether it be traditional sports or esports. This is just a case where FNRGFE, I mean, they have no reason to feel terror or afraid of ARC-6 right now. They've been outplaying them in just about every facet of the game. They've been flanking them on all sides, and they've taken away ARC-6's bread and butter, where ARC-6 really relied on excellent Mercy play to bring them through, but Gingerpop has been a wanted man, to say the least.
Well, it looks like we might have a slight pause here, as I think FNRGFE maybe having some problems. Maybe Bonnie, or maybe it's XQC. It's not really able to get into the game there. Maybe they're having some lag. Who knows? But nonetheless, I mean, they might as well just use this as like a tactical pause, because they need time to talk. They need time to figure out what's really going on.
I was going to say the
okay,
word
so it's
tactics,
Boink.
but
So was FNRGFE that did call a pause there.
Well, at the very least, it's not really a tactical pause coming in from the other side, but
they'll take it as that opportunity.
It's just like, all right, deep breaths. How do we deal with this team right now?
Well, and I have a question. Do you think Farah is how you deal with this team, based on what we've seen?
No.
Right? Yeah, and my question, really the real question is, are they too reliant on that in that case? I mean, they brought it out on first point, and they were able to take it, and I think it was definitely a factor, but you can see when they're off of it, it looks completely different.
Well, the problem is in Overwatch, and we talked about this a little bit earlier when we talked about teams really can play one composition well and they have an off composition. Yikes has spent most of its tournament play in recent times going out of their way to practice Pharah. It's their bread and butter. It's what they have the most time on. So when you have a team like FNRGFE come out with a game plan that just denies and utterly dominates your best look, well, your plan B is never going to be as good as your plan A, and it's already put ARC-6 in a really rough spot.
I don't think Farah is the kind of hero that you can one trick and then expect to like win matches. I feel like there's very few heroes left in the game like that. Used to be Diva when she was really strong, could just take Soldier 1v1 up close. I think Genji is like the only one trick left in the game that you can play and still mostly get away with.
You can make an argument for Tracer, I feel like.
Yeah, but you know all those pulse bombs. That
No, it's true.
Today?
You can see. Yeah.
I did say one of the very few. I did not say
that's diplomatically
put. Of course,
that's about casting. You never put yourself in a corner. You leave yourself a way out.
No, you maybe never put yourself in the corner.
You almost never put yourself in the corner. But moving back to
Farah
this,
is it's just not a hero you can do that with, because it's countered by too many things.
Not to get too distracted from this matchup, but it is a question I've even had for Surefour, who's been playing a lot more Farah. Now he's well known for being able to play a lot of different heroes, but let's not talk about that. We actually, well, maybe we'll talk a little bit about it, because I do have an announcement related to that. We do have Kongarna and Cloud9 who will need to play a best of 3 on Oasis as a tiebreaker to see who makes it in to the playoffs. So that's huge. So stick around. We will be casting that one after tonight's last match, and it's going to be the hype.
So in case anyone's wondering how that transpired, Kongarna got hammered, where Hammers Esports, a team that, like we mentioned earlier, they couldn't get forward and get one of the 2 spots today, but they could play spoiler, and because of their efforts in taking some maps off of Kongarna, they have forced Kongarna into this tiebreaker situation, much to the delight of C9 fans everywhere.
From earlier today, isn't it? It went 2-2.
It is.
2-2 in the
well,
matchup.
and the thing is that map, boy, now I actually can't remember. Is it that map that was? I can't remember. We'll have to go back to the books.
I know. I can just imagine what Michael's saying on Twitter right now, or if they lose, what he's going to be saying on Twitter. Well, either way, I'm going to enjoy whatever drama does come off of this.
All right, may the world go forth into Twitter and see the magic that lies in store. Well, we've got some magic in store for us right now, as FNRG, they've set themselves up for success, not only in this series of 4 maps, but in this map individually. They are 2 points away from securing their spot in the playoffs.
Well, for FNRGFE, it has been
once. Just once.
FNRGFE?
Thank you.
Is that what you wanted from me, Jason?
Doesn't it feel good to say?
I mean, it did, but I just feel dirty. I need to stick with the plan.
I mean, I feel dirty when I destroy an entire extra large pizza myself, but I'm still happy about it.
That actually just gains you respect from me.
Come on, look at me. I'm 6'5.5". I can destroy that. Or 198 if you guys are over in Europe. And also, hello and good morning if you're over in Europe.
It is morning now, isn't it? But FNRGFE will see if they continue what has been their speed run of ARC-6 so far here in this series. ARC-6, if they have an extra gear, a way of making this Pharah Mercy work, they're going to have to prove it now. Otherwise, their contender dreams might be coming to an end.
Arc going for a very aggressive hold here. Allows Buds to just slips right through, but he's waiting for his teammates. Clockwork is actually behind the end team as well. Already contested the point here. Dahoon's got to be very careful in this 1v1. Trying to knock him away, but Clockwork is just distracted him and actually has him at half HP. Dahoon's taking a lot of damage from a lot of different angles.
And Clockwork pulled back the Winston there. The distraction is going to cause Arc6 to have to move back a bit, but so far Arc6 has been handling this pretty well. Haven't lost anyone just yet, pulling back and making FNRGFE make the plays rather than making mistakes that make it easy for them. Now, that's like Clockwork. He's healed up, and he's going back in here once more. Being the distraction in the back, gonna pull back the D.Va, and now you look at FNRGFE coming in through the front. This has been a good distraction, and it actually causes XQC to die. Here we go.
Yeah, Coolman back on point, actually very low in health. He's actually taken down, he gets desuited. Really unfortunate for FNRGFE, and Dante does get the follow-up kill until once he did pop out of his exosuit. Looks like the rest of FNRGFE, oh god, this is gonna kill me, is trying to run away now, but Bonnie needs to kill Dahoon, which is not a bad start. Obviously, can get back to the point really quickly, but there's no sound barrier, which they're gonna have to their own advantage.
Sound barrier comes out, Bud starts gunning people down to Tech Visor, doesn't really get any kills off of it as Pizza going in, barrage over the top, and it's going to push FNRGFE back, and that's a really big win here for Arc6 so far, Jason, where they're holding this back despite having to deal with the sound barrier, but the storm hasn't passed here just yet. The Transcendence will be coming in a moment for FNRGFE as they continue to try and take point A.
They have Trance, though, and that's going to be really a strong aspect for them. If they can't fight on the point altogether, there's going to be a sound barrier to respawn with, but the sound barrier is not going to be as effective as this Trance, where any damage they eat is just going to be completely mitigated on. There's no honor for a bio grenade. We can see most portal plates going to be coming through, and the damage is being done, but no one's being knocked off. You can see the self. Did that self-destruct just get thrown off the map?
I think it did. I think that self-destruct is out of there, courtesy of Boink. And relatively even now, but this is much better for FNRGFE. It was still a slow engage even with the Transcendence, but attrition starting to take its toll here. The Resurrection has already been used. No more Fallen Heroes coming back up, at least for a little bit. And now the question is, how long can Za survive the storm of FNRGFE starting to really swarm onto this point?
You can still see Dante trying to fight back. Boink, very low in health, gets the health pack, actually be able to rejoin back in. Dante has no recall anymore. He has a couple of dashes to use, yes, but this is such a bloody battle here on the Temple of Hanamura, almost to the map, and the Cyber is going to be used.
Sound barrier is used. Clockwork, though, able to get a very key killer XQC, but the Resurrection is up again. Ginger Pop, if he can just stay alive, he does. He gets a little bit spooked, brings up XQC with the one-man res. But I think it's enough here, Jason, where Arc6 is able to withstand. And are we going to see the rare beast known as a Hanamura first point hold? FNRGFE is down to their final minute.
I thought we don't say that. It's like the man who should not be named, the player that should not be named, first holding first point.
I mean, realistically, at this point, I just take pride on cursing players. It just happens. We're just like, surely this can't happen. And then the world conspires to make me wrong and just ruin the player that should have won in the process. So, I don't know. It's my superpower. It's not a great one.
It's definitely not a bad one. But we do see Hanamura, or not Hanamura, Clockwork behind him, initially able to get that kill into whom? Ginger Pop is 70% on his ultimate, but he's already being focused down here. Buds wants to pick up the skill. He gets the dash, but he's on 40 health. He's got to back away. There's 20 seconds remaining, and Arc6 has already been able to pick up 3 kills.
Arc6 dominating there, and where Ginger Pop was able to use the train in the map much to his advantage. Goes from one end to the other, doesn't fall to the pressure, and now with 12 seconds left, Bonnie is going to be leading the way, glowing up like a super large light bulb as FNRGFE. Here they go, Jason, moving in for one final push. We'll see if it's successful. Ginger Pop still alive, waiting in the wings.
And he's got the res, and it looks like the sound barrier will be up for Dahoon as well. In just a few seconds here, Zod's going to be sticking towards the backside, just trying to hammer away. He's got the barrage available, but he's just trying to play safe for now. Movement does get the kill into space. There's no res coming in for him here. Ginger Pop's going to at least get a 2-man, now 3-man out of this. He's waiting to come in. Is anyone going to stop this man? No one's looking his direction. Only a 1-man res! Where is everyone? Where's this team? Dante is the only one!
Muma knocked them off the edge! You can't resurrect that which is vertically challenged! That was the problem there, so, I mean, that's one way of countering a Mercy from bringing everyone back up.
We gotta say replay of that. I gotta see that again. I didn't see those kills coming from Muma.
No, Muma was tossing people off like it was his business.
Well, maybe it was. Maybe that's what his job was there. Working hard, and he's gonna pay for that one as well when they go into the second point here. They still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds now to go. All they need to do is pass at 54.5%. They don't need to fully cap the point to get themselves through into the playoffs.
All right, FNRGFE, they buy themselves quite a bit of time here. They are going to fall rather quickly, not able to penetrate through the top. But they still have plenty of time here, Jason, now, where they were up against the wall. But now they have 3.5 minutes to make attempts here on second.
All right, so what are they looking for? They got a blade coming up for Buds. They got a pulse bomb. Ginger Pop's going to be playing very safe on the high ground. So only Buds can really get to him there. Maybe Muma can join in, obviously, and Coolmat too. But it's going to be very hard to kill Ginger Pop, I think, in this position, because if you play on the high grounds, you can dash between both. It doesn't really leave himself susceptible to Clockwork. And this Clockwork wants to go high ground and invest all of his blinks to get on the opposing high ground.
It makes it difficult, and that's why when they picked Hanamura, it wasn't a big surprise. It's a really nice... Oh my god! All three shurikens going at Ginger Pop under pressure, and he's down! Buds with a beautiful play assisted by Bonnie. That was poetry in motion, and FNRGFE, they sense blood in the water here, Jason. This could be big.
The res is still going to be there, though. Ginger Pop's at 80%. He's going to have the opportunity to get this res in, and for some reason, FNRGFE is backed away from the point because they're trying to chase some kills without chasing. And it's about time for Arc 6 to get the respawns back in.
Indeed, and they are going in deeper. The self-destruct connects. Coolmat gives up his life for it, though. It's a big loss, but Buds is there. Dash resets in on the point. Progress now being made, and remember, they don't have to cap it fully. They only need a little over 50%. It's a slightly better situation for FNRGFE, as they only need now less than a tick to put this one away. Ginger Pop has to bring out the resurrection, and it should be enough to throw FNRGFE back.
I mean, most importantly, they got a third there, though. If they did not get that third, then it would still be 54.5% they have to accumulate. Now they only need to go 24.5%, 21.5%, 21.2%. Jason, you cannot do math on air. When will you learn? And they're trying to come in from a different angle.
Left guy does math on air, just so you know. We're going into this next fight, though, as FNRGFE less than a tick away from taking Hanamura and going up 3-0. Time, not nearly as much on their side here as they look for their way in. Clockwork waits for that ult charge to come in, has the pulse bomb. He's creeping here, Jason. He's being very quiet.
Arc 6 have to keep someone on the point at all times, because that 20% can go by extremely quickly, especially if Clockwork wants to just backdoor this. And you do not want to lose because you Cloud9 in this match.
And Dante taking the wind out of the sails of FNRGFE there. Finds Muma with that pulse bomb immediately. And already, I think they just have to back out. They only have really 1 to 2 good pushes, with probably 1 good push. So you might as well make it count, especially now that a Dragon Blade is part of your resources.
You got a blade and a pulse bomb. And a trance. Like, this is going to be hard, actually, for Arc 6 to hold. All they're going to have is XQC, mostly, just to knock them away.
They need to hope that Buds throws the Dragon Blade into the sound barrier. If he does not do that, Buds is going to have a golden opportunity. They sound barrier early.
And they only come forward with it.
Why? They've got spooked. Dahum was spooked. And now the storm is rising here for FNRGFE. The barrier used for nothing. But FNRGFE, they lose Clockwork immediately. They're not able to transcend to keep him up. But now, here they go. The Transcends is in. Where is the blade from Buds? This is the perfect opportunity. The blade is out, and what is he going to get? Oh, diving in! Finds 2 in close proximity. Buds opening the door here as FNRGFE just needs a little bit more. They're such a tiny sliver away, but Muma sleeping on the job.
Most importantly, he got the kill in a space when he was desuited, so he did get the resuited, and he couldn't stall for longer. Bonnie's getting the kill to XQC, but not before Coolmat's going to fall here. We do see the May being picked up, and it's at 44.8%. We're finally in overtime. The kills need to go in the way of FNRGFE if they want to have a chance to finish this off. Space gets desuited yet again. Here's Zop. He's just buying time, yes, but where's the kills coming through? Ginger Pop is even switched over to his padded Reinhardt. I bet you've never seen him play this one, and he's going to fall.
He ends up falling in FNRGFE. They're swarming back onto the point. They only need a little bit more. This is coming down to the wire in more ways than one, but FNRGFE, they're throwing Arc 6 off the point. It's only XQC, the man, the myth, the legend. He ends up falling, and that will be FNRGFE. Up another map on Arc 6, taking Hanamura in dramatic fashion.
No, and also taking away the hopes of Arc 6 making playoffs, most importantly.
Yes.
That just gets FNRGFE one step closer to making their way through into Contenders Season 1. Really well done. They did in overtime both points, and that was just some risky play out of both teams, but that's why FNRG is going to be the better team here. Able to at least have a game plan come into this, and they were able to execute it.
What a story for FNRGFE, where you have this collection of veterans who have had varied success in the game, but knew that Contenders was one of their best options to continue being on the forefront competitive Overwatch. And they come in big today in the group stages and shock Arc 6 when it matters most.
I think they shocked a lot of people. I'm not going to say I was shocked only because of how close this one was coming in. I think the thing that's shocking is how, well, that one was actually really close, but just the fact that they've gone 3-0 now.